Welcome, Rebecca. The floor is yours.
Okay, kia ora. Ko Rebecca Robin taku ingoa. Thank you for allowing me to kōrero today. I come as a local resident of the East, as a musician and an advocate, and as someone who's been working closely with grassroots groups supporting whānau who are currently unhoused in Ōtautahi. I want to acknowledge each of you as elected members. This mahi isn't easy, and often you're working with tight budgets, limited staff capacity and competing community pressures. When council and community connect well, we see results that restore trust and give people hope. So for some context, in August in Bexley, there's been an ongoing community of unhoused people. So I've been working with Flo through Feed a Bro charity. She supports unhoused people across Christchurch, feeding them in Margaret Mahi and all over. So she's coming into Bexley once or twice a week to feed and check in with the community. And one of the biggest challenges there was lack of toilet facilities. This was raised with me, and I approached Celeste Donovan, who showed me she was already working on a humanitarian solution about how portaloos could be provided. At the same time, I scheduled a deputation to the community board for the cost of inaction compared to simply installing portaloos. In the meantime, I was told on a Friday night before I got to the community board that council was effectively going to remove people from the site. This created significant alarm and distress for those directly affected in the wider community. So I was able to contact some elected members who then intervened. So to your credit, Celeste, Paul, Jackie, Yanni and Kelly, because of that action, the directive was stopped. Instead of people being displaced, portaloos were provided, rubbish disposal arranged, and regular site visits began. So here are some concerns going forward. There are significant decisions being made without elected member oversight. The community also often feels decisions are made without them, and this was one of those times. Currently, council doesn't seem to have any homelessness advocate or liaison role. Community-led responses like Flow are often led out of formal strategy, and there's no transparent council policy that we can see of how to respond to visible homelessness arising. So we acknowledge all the agencies that are doing valuable mahi, and I acknowledge that there's no permanent link between council, elected members and the people most affected. Too often staff decisions bypass community voices and elected direction, leaving people disconnected and disempowered. We often talk about the need to bridge gaps rather than build barriers. My recommendation for council is that there's a dedicated homelessness liaison role inside of council, not to replace existing agencies, but to connect them, rooted in lived experience, not just policy frameworks, and a role that builds trust and ensures elected members are properly informed before decisions are carried out. There's also a wider disconnect between council and the public. One way of bridging the gap is to actively acknowledge the mahi communities are already doing, whether that's volunteers like Flow or other local initiatives. When council recognises and celebrates that effort, it strengthens trust and shows the community contributions are valued. That acknowledgement is simple and yet a powerful way to bring council and community closer together. This is about building a road forward. When elected members intervened, we saw better outcomes straight away. Let's make that difference permanent by addressing these concerns directly. So today I recommend that we ensure elected members are notified immediately when decisions of this scale and impact are being made so they can provide oversight and direction. If we could pilot a homelessness liaison role to bridge staff, elected members and the community, and commit to acknowledging and integrating community-led mahi in visible and consistent ways. Ōtautahi has been through a great deal over the past decade, through earthquakes, September 4th. What has carried us is not only resilience, but our hope, our empathy, and our determination to take a humanitarian approach, even in the hardest times. That is a spirit I believe this council can continue to reflect in its decisions. Ngā mihi.
Okay, thank you. Just to put you in the picture, the CE and I had a hui with 15 advocates from different different agencies last week at Aldersgate, and a report is coming to council next week.
That's good.
But it was really good. It was all the people that really know their stuff. There is a lot of good stuff going on out there. It was just a matter of getting them and talking all together. Celeste.
Thank you, and also thank you for coming in. I do appreciate all the work you've done on this, and also Flo and other people that just want to acknowledge that. And we picked up on the muddy sports field, but can we also pick up on the question around the pilot liaison role? Because I think that's also quite important. So is that something that we can pick up on?
Yep, thank you.
We'll take that on board.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rebecca. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Good on you. Okay.